I'm traveling in a land of high-tech and grunge music. Rainforests and deserts, cowboys and Indians, windswept coastlines and more volcanoes than you can shake a stick at. Welcome to the big adventure of the Pacific Northwest.
Washington and Oregon form the USA's Pacific Northwest, a sparsely populated 160,000 square miles of desert, forest, and volcanoes. Setting out from Seattle, I fish with Indians in La Push and play lumberjack in Hoquiam. From historic Astoria and the 500-foot dunes of Florence, I turn east to the rodeo in Pendleton, backtrack to eco-friendly Portland and the smouldering volcano of Mount St. Helens.
Back in 1851, a small logging community was founded on the Pacific Northwest coast. Today, it's consistently voted one of the best places to live in America. Seattle.
Named after a local native chief, Seattle has grown into one of America's most high-tech and hip cities. It's the home of global corporations and cutting-edge music, while maintaining its historic heritage and small-town quirkiness.
This is Seattle's oldest and most popular market, Pike Place. It's been open for business since 1907. Apparently locals rallied to save this place from being torn down and redeveloped in the 1960s. And thank goodness they did, because this food looks amazing. Tell me about the fish tossing. What's that about?
Well, the fish tossing really just started because we're lazy and we work 12 hours a day, so we're tired, and we didn't want to walk the fish from out there to up here, and it's less trips with the legs back and forth if you just stand up there and throw it.
What happens if you drop it?
You wash it off.
Next out here, hold on. Blindfolded. Okay. I dare you.
Blindfolded? Come on!
I got you, man. Trust me. Yep. Magic! They're fine!
You want to go catch one?
Yeah, why not?
Come on, Grandma. DJ!
The start of Seattle's boom years pretty much dates back to 1962 when the World Fair was held here. One building that was built in particular for that fair has become the symbol for high-tech Seattle, the Space Needle.
The 600-foot ride to the top is quite expensive at over $10 a ticket, but the view, wow, it's truly spectacular.
Are you kidding me? Wow.
Oh. You really have to enjoy your job to do that. Definitely can't be afraid of heights.
Yeah. What do you do? What's this maintenance about?
And we try and make it look nice, you know? So, whatever's out here, we pick it up.
Is it quite scary?
Yeah.
I mean, it's scary just watching you. Right?
Yeah.
Don't do that, please. That's crazy.
I can't do that.
Don't do that, man. Jay, you're freaking me out now.
It scares the heck out of me to do what he's doing. Ah!
A remarkable number of world-beating high-tech corporations are actually based here in Seattle, most famously, of course, Microsoft. But there is one company whose influence on the city has been absolutely huge. Boeing!
Boeing was founded in the area in 1915, and since the 1960s, it has built literally thousands of airliners in this, the world's largest building by volume, employing up to 80,000 people. More recently, a major new influence on Seattle life has come from Microsoft billionaires, as here at the Experience Music Project.
This place is the brainchild of Microsoft's co-founder Paul Allen, who's a huge Jimi Hendrix fan. It houses a big collection of musical memorabilia, but its main aim is to encourage people to make their own music. Great.
Jimi Hendrix was born in Seattle, and his influence has helped it become a hotbed of musical talent.
Jimi Hendrix, eat your heart out. Actually, it's not me. It's all just computers. But it sounds way better like this.
Seattle has long been renowned for its vibrant music scene. Most famously, in the late 1980s, the city gave birth to grunge.
All right, so this is it. This is downtown Seattle. I'm at the Central, and apparently this is where Nirvana played their first ever gig. Let's go see if grunge music is still alive.
All she ever wanted were the answers that she needed. Gave her the reason for her to leave him. She couldn't find the courage. It was too much of a burden. She didn't have the heart to ever hurt him.
Tonight, continuing the legacy, these are local heroes, Payne's Run.
And the grunge scene here, is it still alive and well, or is it kind of dying out?
I think it's alive in a different way. It's a little heavier, I think, than what it used to be. And, so it's a different sound, but it's still from the roots of grunge, though.
Right. The music's like really big in Seattle, yeah.
A lot of good bands out there, that's for sure. It's they always say you can throw a rock and hit somebody that's in a band here in Seattle. So.
Moving on from Seattle, the scenic way to leave is by ferry. Crossing Puget Sound, I'll skirt the mountainous Olympic Peninsula to meet the Indians of La Push before some lumberjack lunacy in Hoquiam. The Olympic Peninsula is a glorious land of towering mountains, primeval forest, and stunning beaches.
You can't go any further west on the United States mainland than this. I've made it to the edge of the mighty Pacific Ocean at La Push. This is the ancestral home of the Native American Killiot tribe, and what an amazing place to live.
What I love about the Pacific Northwest is it's the nature, the people. There's a lot to see, a lot to do. You can meet the Native Americans.
And she's right. I went fishing with my Killiot friend, Deanna.
Yale, 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 away. Aya, toya, kalaka, away. Hey, home, home.
So the idea is if you sing that song, maybe you'll get lucky on the fish.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Deanna is showing me a very traditional and specific way of preparing the salmon for cooking. How long has your tribe been cooking fish like this, or is it just you?
For centuries and centuries, as far as I know. I knew when I was 10 years old from my grandmother. I started cooking this when I was 10.
And she taught you how to do it?
Yes, yeah.
And now you've taught me?
Yeah, good. Right.
Yeah.
Woo.
This is so good.
Yeah, you know, I always enjoy salmon with my fingers.
It's amazing that with all this space, the Killiot have been left with a reservation of just 1 square mile. It's hard to drag myself away, but I'm heading south through the old-growth forest to see another side of Washington country life. I'm, wide awake and going to a party. This is the logging town of Hoquiam, and I've come to take part in the annual Loggers Playdate. Top lumberjacks come here to compete, but anybody can join in, even me, as long as I pass the qualifying events.
All right, now, here's the contest. We take 3 throws. Those 3 are added up into the total to see if you can make the finals.
Oh. All right, that's it. That's my first event, the axe throwing event, and I obviously didn't qualify because
I didn't hit the target enough times, but it's pretty fun. It's quite nerve-wracking, everybody watching you like that. I thought it was going to be easy, you know?
Well, this takes a lot of practice. This is a professional sport. These people do put in a lot of time. We have one person here that's really going to be hard to beat. I mean, he's going to have a very bad day for anybody to beat him. His name is Rob Weibel, and he's very accurate in the axe throw. He's very fast in the choker setting. He's truly going to go after that, what we call the coveted all-around logger.
You pay an entry fee, and you pay for all your own equipment, and all your travel costs, and all that sort of thing. And if you place well, then you'll win some money, and if you don't, then you've just had a good time. You know, I make enough money to you know, buy my wife a few nice things, and hopefully she'll let me do it again next year.
Here we go. Good luck, Sammy.
My second event is choker setting, in which you have to tie a cable, which naturally enough is called a choker, around a log and get back to where you started before your opponent does. Amazingly, I'm in the lead.
Come on, Sam! Nice and
Oh well, I knew it was too good to be true. Generously, my fellow contestant Lee Pickett seems impressed with my efforts as a novice.
Crazy. First time? First time. Good job.
He asked me to be his partner in tonight's sawing finals.
Blow the saw away from you. That's it, Sammy. There'll be nothing but dust flying tonight. Good job.
Well, yeah, Lee, this was your idea. Do you think we're going to do well? I mean,
we're going to do good. We're going to make a show.
Yeah?
We're going to do our best. That's what we're going to do. That's what I like to do. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
How can you get more perfect than that? In the mark, on your mark, get set, go!
There's a hell of a lot of testosterone on show in all the events, but the one that really gets a crowd going is tree climbing.
This is very dangerous when you go up those trees. People have lost their lives right here in this park.
Really?
I mean, it's a very regretful thing. This is the one that the people in the stands do not identify with. They can say, I can do all of these, but I cannot go up that tree because I'm not going to put my life on the line to do that.
And if you don't want to climb a tree, perhaps it's safer rolling one?
The average person can't stay on this log long enough to get their picture taken.
That's got to hurt, man.
The seconds are ticking down all too fast to my event with Lee.
Don't forget to breathe. Remember your legs. Use your legs. When you're bending over, come down. Don't bend over because it'll cut your wind off. I'm going to blow this thing off.
Meanwhile, Iron Man Rob Weibel is still going for the top prize.
On this log over here, we got Lee Pickett and Sammy Sabati. I hope I said that right.
How am I feeling? Bloody nervous.
Come on, Lee! Come on! Come on!
Good job. Nice guy.
This is this is a memory I will definitely cherish for the rest of my life. It's a lot harder than it looks. We are rolling!
This is absolutely guaranteed that this is not going to make it more than 10 seconds. I got money riding on this. Absolutely guaranteed. Okay? Whoa! It's close.
It's been 24 hours of like new experiences. I think it's time to call it a day. I'm going up to Astoria. Can I get in? All right.
With a lift from a friendly local logger, my journey continues south from Hoquiam to where the Columbia River marks a state line, and I cross to the historic town of Astoria, over the 4-mile-long Astoria Bridge from Washington into Oregon. Astoria is the oldest permanent non-Indian settlement in the Pacific Northwest, founded as a result of one of America's most famous journeys of discovery.
In 1804, when virtually the entire Pacific Northwest was Indian country, President Jefferson sent out an expedition from the Mississippi to explore the unknown territory. This back-breaking journey to the Pacific coast, just up here, took Lewis and Clark's team of about 30 or so a year and a half, much of it by canoe. I'm telling you, these guys were fit. This is what the Lewis and Clark expedition had to look forward to after their grueling 4,000-mile journey to the Pacific was finally over. Not exactly a luxury hotel, but this, which they built in a couple of weeks, Fort Clatsop.
There you go. Look at Mom. What would you say?
Lewis and Clark!
Every feature at the fort has been accurately recreated.
That cannot be too comfortable.
Everything on show here, from the weaponry used to the raccoon hats worn, is based on details given in the extensive journals that Lewis and Clark's team wrote whilst cooped up here. For example, it's described how wildlife was shot for food, and how the animal's fat was used to make candles.
That would burn for a couple of hours, and that would be the candles that they made.
It smells like animal fat.
It is pure animal fat.
Yeah.
And when they were crossing the Bitterroot Mountains and were short on food, they may have eaten some of their candles.
Really?
Because it was a source of fat.
So can I eat this?
You could eat it.
It's kind of weird, actually. It's got no taste to it, but I can tell that I'm eating fat.
That's right. It's pure animal fat.
Right. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's disgusting. But you do what you have to do to survive.
That's right.
Hey, luckily, camping conditions have improved along the Oregon coast since the days of Fort Clatsop 200 years ago. Just up the road near the fort is something a lot more comfortable for modern-day softies like myself. Oddly enough, it's a Mongolian yurt. There are actually hundreds of these yurts up and down the coast. They've proved really popular, and you can see why. I mean, they've got everything you need. There's a heater over there. Outside, there's a hot shower. There's a barbecue pit. This is really cool, and it's just $30 a night.
Before leaving Astoria, I head for the harbour to check out a big local fishing controversy.
In the days of Lewis and Clark, the Pacific Northwest was absolutely teeming with wildlife. Today, in places like this Astoria Harbour, it still is. Oh, 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 oh. You can see there's a thriving population of sea lions here, but they're protected by laws and endangered species. But they eat so much fish But the local fishermen absolutely hate them. They can't stand them.
You might get 4 or 5 fish in the net. They probably get 3 of them, 3 or 4 of them. You know, it's $400 or $500. It's like somebody going to your wallet and grabbing it and pulling $300 out of your wallet. They're a nuisance. They're really bad here. They're getting worse. I don't know what the solution is. I don't, because the state will not let us harass them. You can't push them off the dock. You're going to get busted. You can't shoot at them. You can't do anything when they're in your net. I don't know what the answer is. I really don't. I'd like to shoot every one of them myself.
It's definitely time to get out of here. Astoria's local Harley-Davidson club have offered me a lift. We're heading down the coast on Route 101, and they're kindly taking me all the way to my next destination of Florence. Lucky me. Route 101 runs the length of the Pacific US coast and is one of America's most beautiful drives. The Oregon stretch is a feast for the eyes and stomach, with incredible views and great little home-cooked diners.
Well, you hungry?
Yeah, let's go try some chowder.
Let's get some food. Sometimes you guys get a bit of a bad rap, just in terms of your image.
That's the 1%.
That kind of badass image that you guys have. Right. But you guys are really fun.
Yep.
Pretty...
It's normal people.
Yeah.
Most of them are too old to be mean anymore.
Back in the day. No.
Yeah, back in 20 years ago now might have been a little different story, but...
You got some stories, right?
Oh, yes.
Hooking up with you guys was like the best thing I ever did. It was such a beautiful ride.
Yeah, we had a great time today.
It was a lot of fun.
This is good biking weather.
Yeah. There's so many places that the weather's like this every day and you start taking it for granted. Right. Here, it rains so much that when we do get a nice day, we just kind of... I mean, we revel in it then. It's great. It's
Sun's
great
out,
times then.
go.
Sun's out. Let's go do something.
I wish I could ride the 101 all the way to Mexico, but of course my new friends have to turn around for home. And as night falls, they drop me off on the outskirts of Florence, right next to the Oregon Dunes National Recreation Area.
There they are, the renowned Oregon Dunes. Apparently this is where you'll find some of the biggest coastal sand dunes in the world. Woohoo! This is not going to work. There has to be an easier way to get around this place. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure there is. Hey.
Hey, come on in.
Hey, guys. Oh, thank goodness. Woohoo! Amazing.
Well, that's where we're going.
That's where we're going today?
Yep, there's 32,000 acres of sand. It goes 41 miles, clear to Coos Bay. A little over half of it's closed off to dune buggies, though. A lot of people hiking and horseback riding, things like that, go out in the areas that are closed.
Now, how safe is this buggy? I mean, would you let me drive this thing?
Well, I wouldn't let you drive this one, no. There are people who drive their own machines, but there is a lot of danger out there. Some of those drop-offs sneak up on you pretty fast, and you don't see them until it's too late. You see that first big sand dune on the other side of the trees? That one's probably pretty close to 500 foot high out there.
500 foot?
Yep. So you can imagine the results if somebody comes flying up over a 500 footer not knowing what's on the other side.
And how fast are we going to go?
Oh, some places we'll hit 55 or 60.
This is mad. This is so mental. I've never been in anything like this before.
We'll take you on out and show you where some of the fun stuff's at.
Let's go. You guys ready?
Yeah. Ready.
Okay. and in your nose and in your ears. This is an adrenaline rush. If you're a thrill seeker, you've got to do this at least once.
The next morning, it's time to say goodbye to the fabulous Pacific coast and head inland. At least, that's if my bus turns up. Public transport is thin on the ground in this part of the world, but multi-trip bus passes are an inexpensive way to get around. I'm heading east from Florence across the Cascade Mountains to the Oregon Desert and the cowboy town of Pendleton. The Cascades are a line of volcanoes that divide the coast from the desert heartland of the Pacific Northwest. This is where many of the original settlers established huge cattle ranches, and their descendants celebrate that every year with the Pendleton Roundup.
Howdy. In the 1840s, 40 years after the explorers Lewis and Clark had blazed a trail, tens of thousands of pioneering settlers headed west through Pendleton along the so-called Oregon Trail. Every year, the Roundup reenacts this massive migration.
All of my ancestors came on the Oregon Trail to get over here. I had grandparents, great-grandparents, and great-great-grandparents that came over. Some of the earliest ones came in the 1860s and then in the 1870s. And they came by horse and buggy and horses just like this and mules, and some of them even came with an ox team.
They were hardy people, and that's why they were able to settle west, I think.
And today's rodeo competitors, although all professionals, still have that Wild West grit, especially the bull riders.
Rules are simple. You've got to hang on for 8 seconds. Like that.
Did he make it? Yes, he did.
You got to stay on to get a qualified ride and hopefully get a good score and win some money in the round and come back tomorrow and do well tomorrow and win some more money.
You must be a little bit disappointed about your ride today, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I had bigger expectations than that.
So what did you know about your bull before today, then?
Oh, they just told me that he's really supposed to buck really hard and turn back, and that's what he did. And I knew what he did, but he just was better than me today and bucked me off.
What do you love about it, though?
Oh, I don't know. I just love it's a hell of a lot better than working.
Thankfully, the bad old days of cowboys against Indians are long past. One of the most popular events in the Roundup is the bareback relay horse race between Native American tribes. So what does Pendleton mean to you guys as a rodeo?
The Pendleton Roundup's the one we want to win. It's not for the money, it's for these buckles right here and bragging rights when we go home.
Coming in, number 3 team, the white team from the Crow tribe.
As a Native American, or as an Indian, as you might want to say, what does it mean to you?
Right before the races, I think about all my relatives that have went on before, all of my, all the people that, you know, died in the wars and, you know, when it wasn't cool to be an Indian no more. Mm-hmm. And today I really like to show the younger guys that it's cool to be an Indian again.
Help them around that final turn.
So what's the secret to being a good rider?
You got to get on and ride.
Here, you.
Get
That's
on.
it? Let me show you, buddy. Come on.
Come on.
Get on.
Get
on.
All right. No saddle.
No saddle. There you go.
Hold them when you get on.
What's his name again?
TKO.
As in, like, technical knockout?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you almost got me today.
Okay, where are we going?
We're going down this way.
All right, take it easy, buddy. It's me.
Come on.
Here, I'll take him. Come on, son. Come on, TK.
Oh
Come on, TKO.
Kick him.
Come on. Come on.
You can tell I've never ridden a horse.
Come on, TK.
Before.
Come on, TK.
TK doesn't like me. Let her buck.
Come on, son.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
There you go. TKO.
Right off.
Me and TKO. Not getting on really well right now.
I get out my bus pass again and follow the route of the Oregon Trail. I'm catching the Greyhound down the Columbia Gorge, stopping off to see Mount Hood and onto Oregon's eco-city, Portland. Situated where the dramatic Columbia River carves its way through the volcanic Cascade Mountains, Hood River is the perfect jumping-off point for a detour to see one of the Northwest's greatest peaks, Mount Hood.
This historic train heads to the foot of Oregon's highest peak, Mount Hood, famed as the Pacific Northwest's most beautiful volcano. Unfortunately, it's often shrouded in cloud, so I'm crossing my fingers. Why are we going backwards?
Well, because that's how this line's designed, because we don't have any turntables to turn the engine around. So the first half of the trip going up is all backwards.
Do you find it difficult driving backwards?
When you first learn, it is difficult. When you're first getting the hang of it, but now it doesn't bother me at all. It feels weird when you turn around and look forward now.
All right, Jimmy, be honest. How much do you love driving this train, yeah?
I think it's probably one of the neatest jobs in this town. I know that. Everybody says I have a mate. Where can they get in line to take my job? And I don't think anybody's going to get my job till I die, probably.
Happily, the Pacific Northwest's famously unpredictable weather is holding up.
Oh, what a gorgeous mountain. Looks like today's my lucky day.
Mount Hood is just one of the Pacific Northwest's numerous and spectacular volcanoes. And despite their beauty, Mounts Hood, Jefferson, St. Helens, Rainier and Adams, the Northwest's most famous volcanoes, are all still potentially active and dangerous. I'm hoping to climb to the edge of the devastated crater of Mount St. Helens. So before the rigors of my trek, I'm planning to chill out in the laid-back and progressive city of Portland.
Welcome to Portland. This is the cultural and commercial capital of Oregon. It's one of America's most livable cities, and they're very eco-conscious here. So I thought, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Get around by bike.
Portland is such a bicycle-friendly city that even in the poshest hotels, nobody bats an eyelid if you walk your bike through the lobby.
Yeah, it'd be nice if I could stay here, but I can't afford it. I'm here to meet the concierge, who in his spare time gives guided tours of the city.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hi, David.
Hey, welcome to Portland. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Great.
You ready to get off work?
I sure am. Why don't I go change out of my suit and tie, and we'll be ready to get out of here. Sorry to keep you waiting there.
All right, let's go.
Let's do it.
David Schargel's tour begins with some oddball history.
One of the founders of the city, he wanted to name it Boston. He wanted to name it after the biggest shipping town of the U.S.
Really?
The other guy said, no, let's make it Portland. They flipped a coin. That's how they named it. Heads for Portland, tails for Boston, and that's how it became Portland.
There can't be too many cities in the world whose names were decided on a flip of a coin, and ever since, Portland has attracted and encouraged eccentricity.
Some guy decided that he was going to make a park right over here. World's smallest park. I kid you not.
This is not a park.
24 inches in diameter, 531 square inches. They can't even measure it in square acres like you do most properties there.
That's crazy.
Isn't that great? Still in the Guinness Book of World Records to this day, world's smallest park.
Pretty
Just
cool.
stay away from the north side. It gets dangerous to all the muggers at night. Well, Matt Groening, the creator of The Simpsons, grew up here. If you ever watched The Simpsons, you know, all these things in The Simpsons were all the things named from his childhood. You see Flanders Street. Ned Flanders is his neighbor, and Quimby, and Bob Terwilliger, Sideshow Bob, and Reverend Lovejoy. Matter of fact, Asa Lovejoy, one of the creators here, one of the visionaries who created this place. Come on, we can do this, we can do this.
Oh! Woo-hoo! This is crazy Portland style!
So, you know, with this environmentally friendly city, the whole idea is to provide all the different alternate forms of transportation.
Right.
Now you got these things right here. Electric car parking stations.
Oh, wow.
Pretty straightforward. All you got to do is pull up and plug right in here and flip the switch. Not only is the electricity free, but the parking spots are free.
Free electricity?
Oh, actually, watch out for a second here.
Hello.
Hello? What, is this your car?
It is. Yeah.
And it's
Plug
electric?
it in to charge it up, yep. Yep, completely electric, no gas in it at all.
No way!
Yeah.
All right, show me how this works.
All right. Well, they basically took out the gas engine. They took out everything, put in batteries everywhere. You see the batteries in the back seat here. We've got batteries in the trunk. It'll take it 90 miles an hour, 50-mile range on one charge.
Now, what made you convert from gasoline to electricity?
Well, I'd always wanted to drive something a little more friendly to the environment, and you know, I thought I'd never drive a car again, started just riding my bike around, but then I heard about electric cars and checked it out. And couple that with the free parking here in front of the World Trade Center, I thought that was a pretty good deal.
You know, people are paying $160 a month for parking in downtown. Doesn't pay a penny. Not a penny. And the free electricity, too. Let's get on the bikes. I'll show you more.
All right. Take care.
All right, thanks, man.
Thank you. Cool car. So, is this one of the free buses, then?
Yep. As long as we're in the downtown area, everything is completely free. It's called the fareless area here. All the buses take the bikes, all the light rails, everything takes the bicycles. It's pretty straightforward. All you got to do is take the bike and put it on here. We just step onto the bus. We tell the bus driver that we're fareless, and we're off to our next stop. It's that easy. Isn't that a beautiful thing?
That's very cool.
Enlightened is what it is.
It's enlightened. It's cheap. It's cool. It's environmentally friendly.
Mm-hmm. It's Portland.
Portland seems so chilled, but I've heard about a mysterious and raucous nocturnal activity called the Zoo Bomb. The Voodoo Donuts Cafe is the bombers' regular haunt, and I've been invited along to meet them.
You all right?
You excited for tonight?
I am, yeah. What's going on?
It's gonna be a huge bomb. This is Nerf.
Nerf, how are you?
What about wrenches? Get yourself a donut, man. This is fucking the best thing in this town.
This is the donut shop, so I should get a donut, yeah?
Hey, Sammy, how you doing?
Yeah, not bad. What do you have?
We've got the dirt donut, which is Oreo, a blueberry donut, the mango tango, triple chocolate penetration, the plain cake, the maple old-fashioned, the chocolate cruller, the caffeinated donut, the Neapolitan, the Memphis Mafia, the buttermilk bar, the old-fashioned, strawberry old-fashioned. We have a voodoo doll here, a blood-filled voodoo doll, which you can do a hex on somebody.
I'll take that one.
You'd like a voodoo doll?
Well, this is the Voodoo Donut shop.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great donut for you, I think, here, Sammy.
Yeah.
There you go. That's filled with blood.
Actual blood?
Well, it's a raspberry-based blood this evening.
What's with this?
Well, that's your voodoo pin, so you can do a spell on somebody. There you go, huh? Right underneath the old right eye. Yeah, he's biting that arm right off. The zoo bombers always need a little help. The donuts help.
So, I'm off into the night with the Zoo Bombers, and I still haven't got a clue what to expect.
I can't tell you, for security reasons. Adults have forgotten what fun is. All right, get it on. Oh, there you go. Come on, we can do this.
Safety is key.
I'm the only one without a bike.
Thank heavens. On the borders of illegality, these guys are going to launch themselves down one of Portland's highest hills, in the dark and without using brakes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
I'm off on a day trip from Portland to the nearby town of Mount Angel. After last night's Zoo Bomb, I'm in need of a few strong beers, and this is the place to be.
It may not look like it, but I am still in the Pacific Northwest. Mount Angel was founded by Germans, and boy, do they maintain their traditions. I'm at the annual Oktoberfest. The harvest is over, and it's time to celebrate Bavarian style. Oi, oi, oi! Prost! He is the president of the Mount Angel Oktoberfest Association, is that right?
That is correct. The biggest festival in the West.
The biggest festival in the West?
The biggest folk festival in the West.
How so? How did that happen?
Well, we get about 350,000 people here, and I've said that for years, and no one challenged me, so I guess we must be the biggest.
Was it always the beer festival? Because I heard it was like a milk festival.
Oh, yes. After the war, we had a big creamery here, so they had a milk festival. But no one came to town to drink milk.
I wonder why.
They wanted beer, music, and dancing. And in 1966, we started this Oktoberfest, and it's been growing ever since.
Wanna be a yodeler, you gotta wear the lederhosen. If you wanna be the yodeler, you gotta wear the lederhosen.
All right. Now, what's the first thing I need to know?
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll do a little bit of. I'll sing it first, then you sing it after me, and then you'll kind of copy it. Okay? Yodeloo-dee.
Yodeloo-dee.
Yeah. Yodeloo-dee.
Yodeloo-dee.
Hi-ho. Hi-ho. All right. Now let's. Hey. Now we got to speed it up, huh?
What? Faster.
Faster. You go. 1, 2, 3, go. Yodeloo-dee.
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 All right.
It's strange to think that all this fun is just a short hop from the fires of hell. I'm driving 100 miles to Washington's most deadly volcano, Mount St. Helens, which erupted in 1980, killing 57 people.
It was a beautiful, snow-capped, perfectly symmetrical volcano.
I get a lift there with the Mount St. Helens monument scientist, Dr. Peter Frenzen.
Well, there it is, a premier view of Mount St. Helens from Johnston Ridge.
Incredible.
So we're about 5 miles from the volcano here. The volcano had been shaking with earthquakes, and it had begun to swell outward in this tremendous bulge. And what scientists didn't predict was that massive failure of the entire mountaintop, and that tremendous sideways explosion which blasted across the valley. 5 miles away from the volcano here, we would have had less than 30 seconds. And that cloud of fragmented rock would have swept at us about 450 miles an hour, flattening the old-growth forest that we were standing in around us. People up to 10 miles away from the volcano were killed by the eruption, and that was totally unexpected. But some people managed to escape, and they were able to bring incredible pictures and stories back of the 1980 eruption.
We're joined by one of the luckiest survivors, Charlie McNerney, who was camping close to the volcano when it blew.
Yeah, we're actually hiking on the top and the insides of the missing part of Mount St. Helens.
Really? This was never here before?
No, the original valley floor is about 200 feet below us. And this deposit came off the volcano at about 100 miles an hour, sweeping down over here and then to where Charlie was across the valley.
200 feet? I mean, I just can't imagine 200 plus feet of this on top of the campsite where we were, let alone the people that were there with us.
Must be kind of eerie.
It's very eerie. You know, I saw this huge cloud, and I saw it coming. Just had no idea that this is what it was.
What did you hear? Because it's quite quiet now. It's quite still.
It was quieter that morning. You know, when you first woke up, it was, like I said, it was the raw silence I think anybody could ever hear. There wasn't a bird sound. There wasn't a chirp. There wasn't a breeze of wind. It wasn't anything. And in a matter of 2 minutes, it changed. This went from really quiet to the high wind, high heat. Suddenly, you're seeing animals run, you're seeing birds fly, tree branches are flying at you. And then it was not far from this mountain where I just said, it's time to go, because up over the ridge it came. And that's when I said, that's it, I'm in the car, I hope you're in the car, to my roommate. I hope you're in the car, because it's gone. And so from that moment forward, I just took off down a dirt road. And it wasn't even that wide. I mean, there were trees on both sides.
You must have been shaken.
Shaken. And it was the first time, I don't know if you've ever driven with your sunroof up in a car. It was the first time I actually felt pressure inside of a car. It was just amazingly, it was almost like pressure pushing down that morning. And then suddenly I could look in my rearview mirror and I could just see this rolling. I could just see it tumble. And it had already gone through where I was.
How fast were you driving?
About 80, down a dirt road with curves, nonetheless. So, Sammy, the riverbed there is pretty much kind of level. So you can imagine, so our campsite would be just there. And then, of course, you have this elevation of all of the deposit. My sense of it is, you know, how small you are when it comes to something of this magnitude. And
right.
There were lots of folks affected that day. A lot of folks that didn't make it home. At the same time, you know, just so you get the perspective of what this is, I brought some photographs down that we were able to take. So on that day, that's the wall that you can see coming at you. You just get this sense of how incredibly big this is.
This is what you saw coming to you?
Yes.
And you're just running for your life?
I see it, yeah. You're just running for your life.
Jeez.
Going 100, 150 miles an hour.
And that's what creates all of this.
You're a lucky man.
I feel that way. I think about it all the time.
The thought that the mountain could erupt again at any time gives me a sleepless night before my big climb.
It's quite early this morning. I could do with some more sleep, but, you know, this is the best time to make my way to the top. It's about a 4 or 5 hour climb. And the weather this morning is bad, despite my best wishes. It's cold, and it's wet, and there's probably going to be some snow at the top. Oh, well. Time to go. Well, this is the easy bit, coming through the forest. It's nice and flat, chance to get used to the terrain, but that's all going to change. I've got 5,000 feet to go, that way. Right, this is the edge of the tree line. Beyond this point, it's pretty much just rocks and gravel. The sun's come out, the weather fluctuates a lot, so I'm not sure how long it's going to last. From here, you have to have a climbing permit. I got mine, so here we go. This is absolutely amazing. I got my first view of the summit. It's about 2,500 feet up, and there's snow.
Any hopes I had of the weather remaining good are dashed. Out of nowhere, clouds roll in, and I'm suddenly in the middle of a blizzard.
This is starting to feel a bit like Mission Impossible now. I've reached the edge of the snow line, and as you can see, it's snowing. A bit of hail. It's really, really cold. My fingers are numb. And I've still got 1,500 feet to the top. The only way to keep warm is to keep on going.
This is not something to be done without proper equipment, letting people know where you're going and when you expect to get back, and preferably an experienced guide.
Well, I made it! This is the edge of the volcano crater. I can't go any further. It's really, really, really cold up here. The wind is absolutely howling. There's ice everywhere, I can hardly talk. I'm sure I'm not making any sense right now. It was my goal to make it to the top. Woohoo! And I made it. It's time to go home.
Thank you.